Were you cringing in your seat during Adrien Brody's long, directionless, and pretentious acceptance speech?
Please turn the music off. I've done this before. Thank you.
I and pretty much everyone else was, although this video isn't actually about just that, but instead, I think the 97th Oscars highlighted a fundamental problem in the show that essentially boiled over during Adrien Brody's speech, and that's any non-popular winner was played off extremely fast. It got so bad to the point that the presenters were averaging more time on screen than the people accepting their awards. When the whole point of this ceremony is celebration of talent, and especially talent that has been fighting tooth and nail to be here, it feels extremely disrespectful to not at least give them a moment on the mic. One of the worst examples of this was the award for Best Sound, which ended up going to Dune Part 2. 3 men walked up, 2 of them spent 25 seconds each talking on the mic, and when the third guy was about to talk, they flat out cut the mic while playing the music, not even allowing him a single word of thanks. When the Oscars are the ultimate recognition in the industry and are highly regarded, being robbed of realizing that dream on the stage is gutting. Imagine being in that man's position. Everything in your career has led to this moment, and your opportunity of expressing your own gratitude has been stolen because the Oscars wanted to save like 20 seconds of time. That's terrible, and even the audience was really upset during this moment. In terms of extremely rushed acceptances, this wasn't an isolated incident. Every award going to someone who wasn't really popular got an average of about 50 seconds of time before the music started playing. As a point of reference, Adrien Brody was talking for 3 minutes until the music started, that he rudely waved off, and then he continued on stammering around looking for words for another 2 minutes, totaling a whopping 5 minutes and 40 seconds of time for his speech. But yet, this poor guy can't even get like 10 seconds. Now, I think it's okay to give popular faces more time to talk, as that is fundamentally what a lot of viewers want to see, but that duration being 7 times more than lesser known faces is overly egregious. I've seen some people rope Kieran into the overly long speech category, but his at the very least was 2.5 minutes long and actually contained something of great and emotional substance. So while he still does have a lot more time, I think how long his speech was should be the absolute maximum. Or honestly, all speeches should be capped at about 2 minutes, maybe giving an extra 30 seconds with the music slowly ramping up. I also briefly raised an issue in the beginning of the video that the presenters were getting just as much, or even way more time than the acceptance speeches. Some examples are Robert Downey Jr. presenting supporting actor getting 2 minutes, Andrew Garfield and Goldie Hawn getting about 2 minutes, and some presenting sections would go on for a pretty long time. It starts to become backwards when you're giving way more time to the presenters as opposed to the winners. You know, the whole point of this show. The only exception here is when they're doing an elaborate bit, adding more comedy and entertainment to the show. But other than those, the jokes should be delivered faster, and if you're cutting down on the time of acceptance speeches, then I'd rather that time be focused on being cut in the opposite direction. Not all of the presenters were overly long, but for the ones that were, it again highlights the issue of bad time allocation. There was also another puzzling thing where they presented Queen Latifah for a while, and for how anal the showrunners are in terms of wasted time, their priorities seem terribly misplaced. You can also make the point that doing musical numbers wastes time, but that does offer again that entertainment because at the end of the day, this is a show. However, it gets a little odd when we're doing a whole set piece on James Bond, or at the time, Conan's bit about wasting time was initially pretty funny, but as the night went on, it aged like milk. So yeah, I don't want to waste your time by redundantly overstaying the video's welcome, and will iterate the overall point of, I hope the Oscars actually prioritize the entire point of this ceremony. Don't absolutely disrespect the smaller and lesser known creatives just because you might be scared that the ratings will drop from the audience not caring about them. If anything, it's much more damaging as this video is showcasing in that by being too strict with your time, you further upset people by being too disrespectful to the winners. Socials are in the description and have a great day. As usual, thank you to my top patrons Logan Farmer and Simply Put.